What's up guys, Kyle here from Footy-Boots.com, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Nike Hypervenom Phantom in the High Vis Pack colorway. Now, Nike say what is expected from attackers is changing. They no longer need fancy gizmos and gadgets to give them the edge against defenders. What they need is a natural touch, exceptional comfort and agility. Now the way Nike are going about that on the Hypervenom Phantom is by stripping back the stuff that from the silo it's replacing, the T90 laser. You're no longer getting any shooting elements, gadgets and gadgets all over the place. Instead what you're getting is Nike skin, which is a mesh-based upper. Now, it builds in this honeycomb texture that you see all across the upper of the boot, and it creates this incredible natural touch, according to Nike, and it's built on the X 1.1 last, and what that promises is Nike's most anatomical fit yet. Now, given some of the other boots Nike have released recently, that is an exceptionally lofty aim. Nike have had some exceptional boots recently, and for the Hypervenom to promise more than that, well, that's pretty exceptional. So I'm really excited to test these out. Let's get started. Now we've been trialling the Hypervenom Phantom for the last 6 weeks or so, and in terms of fit, it's very, very good. I was a little bit concerned, mainly because the lacing system doesn't run very deep like it does on some of the other Nike boots like the Tiempo and the Mercurial Vapor, instead opting for a side offset lacing system. Now, I would expect that normally to create a bit of a bulb in the front of the boot, but Nike's new last really delivers on the promises of comfort. It is really an exceptional fitting boot. In terms of the type of foot that this would accommodate, it's good for just about everyone, which sounds unbelievable. But if you look at the Soleplate, it's fairly narrow. It's good for narrow feet, it's good for midfoot feet, but it will also loosen up and accommodate all the way out. And the Nike skin, despite being a synthetic, does have a little bit of stretch to it, which I quite like. I would maybe go true to size with this for just about any type of foot, but I'd really recommend trying them on. You won't believe the fit when you get your hands on them. Striking in the Hypervenom Phantom is very sweet. It's the side offset lacing gives you this huge striking area here that you can see, and it's lovely to catch the ball with that part of the foot. It accommodates a lot of styles of striking. It's phenomenal in that aspect. The Nike skin gives a very, very close feel to the ball. It is super thin. It feels nothing like a leather, but at the same time, it feels as good as a leather. It just offers a completely new approach to how a boot should feel on the ball when striking. And that carries on through to touch and control as well. It really brings your foot close to the ball. As a few other people have said, it's like a speed boot in terms of the protection it'll offer, which is to say it will offer no protection. It's super thin, but it does give a wonderful feel on the ball in every situation. I cannot stress how good this boot feels to have on the foot. In the heel of the boot, there's no suede lining or anything like that. Nike have gone for a very smooth, frictionless approach that should, in theory, help create a more comfortable boot with less rubbing, but you do worry about heel slip. I've found that that's not a problem. It is a very soft heel, and once you get the fit right and you've got it laced up nice and tight, it shouldn't pose any concerns in terms of the comfort and rubbing departments there. As you can see, the Nike skin is wonderfully soft. It's not going to create any hot spots around the front of the boot. I think it's a 10 out of 10 in that department for me personally. moving down into the chassis and the sole plate of the Hypervenom Phantom, and this is one of the areas that is sure to kind of divide opinion. Nike have promised more agility in this boot, and that's via this split toe that you see here. We've seen it before on other boots. The Adipure 11 Pro had a similar approach, and if you're into Nike Free or Nike Rift shoes, then you've seen that sort of thing before. Now, there's not a great deal of bend in there, as you can see. It doesn't offer any sort of paddle there that's going to really make any huge amounts of difference. But what Nike have added is a combination of conical studs and these bladed braking studs. And those braking studs are going to allow for a greater deal of purchase in the ground as you catch the turf, push off backwards, maybe stop for sudden movements with the midfoot, and toe off for quick acceleration. I like the approach to conical studs, 4 in the heel. It makes it versatile to use on a number of turfs. I'd say that you can get away with it. There is an AG version, but if you're not using it very often, you could use this on artificial turf from time to time. However, the conical studs are very short, so I wouldn't recommend it on soft ground. Go for the SG Pro version. You'll get a lot more traction out of it, and you'll really enjoy your football more. However, if firm ground's your thing, hard ground, maybe some artificial turf from time to time, and I'm talking about the rubber crumb stuff, I'm not talking about sandy AstroTurf, then I think they're versatile enough to cope with a number of different surfaces. Final thoughts on the Hypervenom Phantom. I think a lot of people were concerned that Nike had taken a very tech-packed boot in the T90 Laser and kind of turned it into something a bit vanilla with not a lot going on. In actual fact, Nike have stripped away a lot of the unnecessary gumph there. They've created a boot with a such a pure feel on the ball. When running, it fits like an absolute glove. The sole plate's wonderful to play in. It's a really, really exceptional boot. And if you're a Nike fan, if you've got no reason not to buy Nike, then I think the Hypervenom Phantom is great for anyone in that top half of the pitch. Wingers are going to really enjoy the feel of the ball. Strikers are going to enjoy that pure sense of striking. And even your attacking midfielders are going to enjoy wriggling in and out of space in these. The Hypervenom Phantom is an exceptional boot and comes firmly recommended by Footy-Boots.com. Not only is it one of the best boots of 2013, it is one of the best boots that Nike have ever made. And this sounds like hyperbole. As soon as you put your feet in one of these, you will be converted. If there's one thing that I have to mention though, it's that I've heard some durability issues with the first 2 colorways. So that's the black and green and the orange, citrus and black. I've heard some people say that there's a bit of slippage when the foot's meeting the turf, it's pushing through the upper, and that's ripping clean away. So I'd advise maybe going for the last few colorways of the Hypervenom just to ensure a little bit better durability. Nike are very good at fixing and catching on to stuff like this quick. So that's all from me at Footy-Boots.com. Tune in next time, head to the site for the full written review. Don't forget to hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, or in the comments down below for any questions. Until next time, this has been Kyle from Footy-Boots.com, signing off.